Hey, and welcome back to another video with me, Anonymous. I want to do a real short video today answering a question that I get asked an awful lot, and I know that people like Cedars and other people with channels get asked the same question, and that is, why do ex-Jehovah's Witnesses like myself make videos and talk a lot about what it was like to be a Jehovah's Witness and sort of pick on things they teach and complain about treatment within the society. And in general, why don't we just move on from the whole shebang? And that is a good question. It really is. Of course, when you've been through a real bad experience, or you've been in a sort of a high control group and you finally have freedom, dwelling on the past and talking about this kind of thing an awful lot doesn't seem to make any sense, right? So let's just go through some reasons why people like myself do this. Firstly, when you've been in a high control environment, it's not even just a cult or a religion. It could be something like a relationship with a very possessive, jealous person. Say you have a girlfriend and she's always sort of creeping on you and checking your phone, and she won't let you see your friends. And that kind of thing, or with a boyfriend with the same deal. Maybe they make you feel that you have low self-esteem, low confidence in yourself. You're not allowed to ask questions about them. You don't have any personal freedom, and you're in that situation for years, not even just for a short amount of time. Maybe you've been in that kind of high control existence, maybe at work or in a religion or something, or even in a culture, like in these countries like North Korea, where they're very censored and watched all the time. Maybe you've been in that situation your whole life, and finally you get out. Now, excuse me, a lot of people just leave, and that's great. Most people leave and they don't talk about it ever again. I met a guy where I'm living now. He came from Colombia. He left the Jehovah's Witnesses 18 years ago, and he never looked back. He never spoke about it again. In fact, meeting me by accident, because I heard from somebody else that he was an ex-witness as well, when he talked to me about it, we had a coffee together, was the first time he'd even thought about it in 18 years. Which was amazing. You're like, wow, that's so cool that you can move on. But in fact, when he talked to me a little bit about it, he was really surprised about how things had changed and everything, and he became interested again in the old life, as it were. But yeah, I understand people can do this. People move on, they get married, they have kids, they have a new job, they move countries even, and they just get over it. And that's great. But the reason that people like me and other people make videos is, for the first reason, to expose the lies about the truth. That's like the main reason, really. And we do this for different reasons. Firstly, sure, we're angry. Why not? We're allowed to be angry. Obviously, being angry forever is unhealthy. But when you've been in this sort of environment, you've been deceived, lied to, abused, ignored, neglected, then of course it is good to be angry for a while afterwards. You're allowed to do that. I really hate it when people say, oh, you shouldn't be angry, you should get over it, be happy, negative emotions are bad. No, they're not. Negative emotions are natural. But dwelling on something for a long time, that's when it starts to be unhealthy, and you want to move past it eventually. So that's one reason people expose the lies about the truth. Another one is because when you're in that environment, when you're a Jehovah's Witness, you're not allowed to ask questions. That's sort of like a no-go area. A lot of people have been disfellowshipped because they ask questions. I just watched a really amazing video about two brothers back home in Ireland. I think they were from the Shannon congregations, and they went all the way to America to figure out why Ray Franz had been disfellowshipped. And they asked the wrong questions. They come across as so sincere, and they got disfellowshipped for it, I think. I haven't gotten to the end of the video yet. But they were put into a judicial committee and everything just for asking questions. When you're finally out of that group, you have that freedom now to ask questions. Now you can stand up and say all the things that you weren't allowed to say before. Like, why can't we do this? Why can't we do that? Disfellowshipping is wrong. This is wrong. This is bad. I don't agree with this. All of a sudden, all of these things that you've held in for years, you can suddenly say. And so by making a video, a blog, a Facebook page, a Facebook group, an article in a magazine, you go on TV and have an interview about it, however you want to do this, it's natural. You want to talk about this thing and you want to have people listen, so you choose your platform. Another good reason that people like me do it is to help people who are still Jehovah's Witnesses to see the light, as we say, you know, ironically. A lot of people within the congregations have doubts, and they want questions answered that they can't ask at the Kingdom Hall. Sometimes they're brave and they watch videos like this, and it gets them thinking. An awful lot of people that I get asking me questions and even private messaging me are Jehovah's Witnesses. Who are still in the congregations, but they have doubts or they want to leave and they can't. They have questions that no one else can answer, like, what's it like in a judicial committee? Will I get disfellowshipped if I ask these questions? What is the reaction going to be if I tell my mum and dad that I don't believe in this stuff anymore? If I leave, do I have to join another religion, or can I be atheist? I don't know what to do with myself. These are the kind of questions that I get. And I know other people get them as well who do these kind of videos. And it's so cool to hear like these people asking these things, and you can finally answer them and really help them or stop them from doing something that would get them disfellowshipped, and that's not what they want to do. And of course, it's good to help people who are interested in becoming Jehovah's Witnesses. I get a lot of questions from them and comments from people saying, I got contacted by witnesses a month ago and I said yes to a Bible study and I went to the memorial. But I watched your videos and I don't want to do this anymore. Thank you for alerting me. I didn't know that's what this organization was about. I wasn't even aware of these problems. And now you've said, and I've done my research, and I'm not going to be in a study anymore. That's really good to hear as well. So yeah, there's that. It's also good because the Jehovah's Witnesses are very insular. You know, people on the outside don't really know much about them. They sort of think of them as those guys that wake me up on a Saturday morning to give me a magazine and stuff like that. Generally, people think that they're nice people, they're calm people, peaceful people. When they have assemblies at football stadiums and things like that, they're clean and orderly, and that's all they know. And then they find videos like this and they're like, wow, my eyes are opened. That explains such a lot. I get people who are dating people who used to be witnesses or still are witnesses or have gone back into the Kingdom Halls, and they're saying, I didn't know all this stuff about the way they view sex. This makes things so much clearer to me now. Now I understand why he or she is behaving in this strange way. You know, and stuff like that. It does help people. And also, I personally don't believe that people should be censored when they have a subject that they have great experience with or has affected them or they're very passionate about. If they want to talk about these things, let them. I don't get people who comment and say things like, you're bad for making these videos, you're pathetic, move on with your life. How did you find my video in the first place? Because I'm not trending on YouTube. When you log on to YouTube, you have deliberately typed in the search bar something like governing body, apostates, ex-Jehovah's Witness, anonymous, hopefully, and something like that. And you have found my channel and my videos and watched it in its entirety and then commented. Why did you do that? If you don't want to listen to people who are now ex-Jehovah's Witnesses and maybe it annoys you because, I don't know, you have an unresolved emotional problem with them, or it's something you secretly wish you could do yourself, or you're still a witness and it annoys you that people make these videos, don't watch them. It's that simple. If you're watching right now just to get angry and comment, log off. There is a small tab around this area with an X on it. Click it and I will disappear. Forever. You know, there are plenty of videos on YouTube that I don't want to watch because I know they're going to upset me. People have opinions that really upset me, and they are sadly widespread opinions like about sexism and anti-veganism. I'm not a vegan anymore, I have to say. I used to be, but people have these disgusting opinions about animals that they are just born to be eaten and stuff like that, and I know it's going to upset me if I watch those videos, so I don't watch them. You know, and if they come up, I don't click on them, because there's nothing I can do about it, and it's just going to annoy me and upset me, and to comment makes me just a troll, and I don't want to descend to that level, so I just log off. So yeah, it does annoy me when people make those kind of criticisms for no reason other than just to belittle somebody who's doing something that they don't agree with. People who genuinely want to know why people don't move on in that sense and just leave it in the past, that's different. I know that I will move on eventually. You're going to do that. But, you know, these kind of experiences affect people in different ways. Don't ever forget that. Some people go into the Jehovah's Witnesses, they have a great time. They really like it. And then they find out something, or they want to celebrate Christmas, or they fall in love with somebody who's not a Jehovah's Witness, and they move, and they leave, and they just live. And that's great. Good for them. Seriously, that's grand. It means that they haven't had as much psychological impact and damage as other people have. And then you get someone who has been raped. The elders have mistreated her or him, that she or he's been told off asking questions, the parents reject them, the husband or wife has a problem with them, the kids say, Mom or Dad, you're going to die at Armageddon, and they leave and they can't take it, and they think, what kind of organization is this? It has the potential to ruin lives, ruin minds. And these kind of people, it's natural, they're not going to get over it just like that. Like the person who had a great time and just left because they were bored, or they wanted to believe in Santa now, or for whatever reason it was. People react in different ways. Some people, it might take them 5 years to get over it. This is actually a good point for people who are dating people who are ex-Jehovah's Witnesses. My boyfriend has never been a Jehovah's Witness in his life, and never will be, thank goodness. But it really took a discussion like this to get him to understand why I even still talk about Jehovah's Witnesses. And I didn't leave that long ago. And it really helps him to understand stuff like about sex. You know, it's stuff like that it's hard in my mind to get over, you know, certain issues with it. And to him, it's like, what's the big deal? But you need to talk about this kind of thing and get people to understand this is what has been put in my mind. And now I've left. It's not going to disappear just like that. I'm not going to get cured, as it were, of the Jehovah's Witnesses instantly. It might take a year. It might take 5 years. It might take 10 years. It might be the rest of your life that you're going to be, you know, screwed up on this particular issue, whatever it is. And so it's good to talk about it, to understand yourself, why you think that way, and why other people who are ex-witnesses react differently from you. It's not bad if someone leaves and they get over it in a week. That's great. It's not bad if someone leaves and they get over it after 5 years. Fine. Or their whole life. Great. People get over it at different rates. People deal with it differently. Some people really need support groups, and they go onto Facebook and onto channels like this. They meet up with other ex-witnesses in the area, and that's how they get over it. That's how they cope with it. Other people think, I never want to even talk about Jehovah again. I just want to meet normal people, atheists, or people from different denominations or whatever, and I want to hang out with them. And I just want to forget about it. Great. Some people want to protest and show their anger. Fine. Other people don't. Great. Just try to understand where other people are coming from. Acknowledge that other people have had different experiences than you. I have heard some horror stories, particularly sadly from ex-Jehovah's Witness women who have been raped, beaten up, abused, made to have babies when they didn't want to, criticized for having an abortion, felt like trash because they had a miscarriage and all the rest of it, you know, and it's upsetting. And then you get like an ex-witness guy, no offense, who had a great time and he was an elder and the world was his oyster, and then he left and he's there going, why is she so upset about this? Why can't she just get over it? Well, maybe that's because she had a different experience than you. Maybe, you know, and vice versa. Some guys have had horror stories and some women had a breeze, you know, and they sort of criticize each other. Don't do that. For goodness sake. I mean, if being a Jehovah's Witness has taught you one thing, do not judge by appearances. Do not criticize other people in such a harsh, sort of judgmental way. Just leave them alone. But anyways, just to summarize the point of this video, some people make these videos because, one, they want to expose lies. It is not nice knowing that people with vulnerable personalities, with mental problems even, people who are sad, people who are looking for an answer, young people, are getting sucked into a cult, an organization that brainwashes people. It's good to alert them and say, hey, this isn't the truth, man. That's one reason. Expose the lies. It works against what the governing body are trying to do. And not many people are actually doing that these days. If you only leave and look after yourself, how are you going to help other people? You don't have to, you're not obliged, but it might be nice if you did. Just saying. And another reason we do it is to educate people who are Jehovah's Witnesses, about things they don't even know, like old literature and stuff like that. educate people who are studying with Jehovah's Witnesses, who are interested in studying, and educate people who don't know anything about witnesses, just the average Joe who just thinks, hey, they just knock on doors and they don't like blood and Christmas. There you go. And also because we're mad, we're angry. Yeah, sometimes we're a bit bitter. It all depends on what you've gone through, how you've been treated, and how people on the outside have treated you when you finally left. You know, everyone has a different experience. It's not nice to be kind of harsh and deliberately not understand and just criticize those kind of people. You know, you may not like the way what they talk about or the way they put it across. Fine, don't listen to them then. But don't be rude to them. Why do that? So yeah. And also because it's fun. It's nice to contact people who used to be witnesses, to share stories, swap tales, laugh about stuff, cry about stuff, and just know that there are other people out there who understand. Because not many people do. Even psychiatrists, shrinks, doctors, police, you know, nobody really understands. Half of the people that I've talked to say, my shrink doesn't even acknowledge it to be a cult. My shrink has never even heard of Jehovah's Witnesses. He or she just thinks it's just another Christian religion, but it's so much more than just a place to go and worship and stuff like that. So anyways, I hope that has cleared up a few sort of misunderstandings. Hope it's answered a few questions. If you have a question to ask it. If you want to make a video, do it. Don't let people put you off. And yeah, that's all I can say. Peace out and thanks for watching. Bye.